Ba-da-da-ba. You hear the music? You hear it? Every time you hear that music, that means it's time for Two Teams, One Podcast. Did I get it right this week?
Again.
Two Teams, One Podcast.
What is the things... You did actually get it right.
See? I fooled you. I got it wrong every week, so you just assumed I got it wrong.
Well,
Ladies
here's the
and
thing.
gentlemen.
Here's the thing. We should take a vote. We should have people on Facebook Live tell us, should we change the name to Two Guys, One Podcast?
I think Two Schmoes, One Podcast.
Two Idiots, One Podcast.
Yeah.
Two Jerks, One Podcast.
Perfect.
Let us know what we should call whatever this is, and give us your suggestions.
We are indeed coming to you from the corner.
The good-looking guy in Scott.
42nd and
We'll take anything.
Midtown Manhattan. It's the show all about the Mets and Yanks here in 2018.
Can I ask you a question?
Coming to a close.
Why do you say Mets and Yanks? It's Yanks and Mets.
Yanks and Mets.
All right,
Mets
good.
and Yanks.
Just saying,
Doesn't
right
matter.
now. Ugh.
They both air their games here on Pix 11.
do.
But being that we are getting closer to the end of the season in a one-game playoff game between the Yankees and Oakland A's, let's first talk about the Yanks and Red Sox this particular week. Do you like the way they performed against the Sox this week?
I do.
Is it a good sign that you like them against the Red Sox in a 5-game series?
100%. Had a conversation with an editor here named Dave Scanlon. We talked about...
Dave knows a lot of
Dave
baseball.
knows a lot of... Especially about the Yankees. He follows them. We talked about the one-game playoff. Who would pitch that game?
Well, that seems
Who would you want?
That's the question every sports show asks every single day.
And Dave made a valid point. He
What?
said, you really want to pitch Tanaka in that game.
Right.
And I said, why? He said, because if you do that, then Hap can pitch 2 games against the Red Sox. And he does great against Boston.
I would go with that bullpen theory.
Which is
For
what?
the one-gamer.
You would pitch just anyone?
I'd start Aroldis Chapman, 1 and 2. Then you bring in Tanaka. He goes at least 6, gets you to the 8th inning, and then you close with
Aroldis Chapman.
No,
1
I'm
and
just
2.
kidding.
Sonny Gray?
Are you close with Sonny Gray?
Sonny Gray can
Yeah,
start. We're going to vote for Sonny Gray to start the wild card game.
That'll be the end of your season.
Oh,
right
my
there.
God.
So
no, I really think you do go, and he made a point. I think you go with Masahiro Tanaka.
Listen.
Because then you're setting up your 5-game series against Boston.
But don't give me a 5-game series against Boston.
Why not?
Because there is none if you don't have the right pitcher against Oakland.
That's Tanaka.
Is
He's pitched
Tanaka
great.
the guy who's going to get you out of that game?
Yes, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
He's pitched great.
Where, at home or away?
Both.
Is he
recently.
great at home? Is he great away?
He's better away, but he's pitched decent at home.
All
So
right.
my theory is this. You go Tanaka in that game.
Right.
Then you're going to go in your 5-game series against Boston. You're going to do J.A. Happ, first game.
Mm-hmm.
Second game, Luis Severino.
Uh-huh.
Third game, CC Sabathia.
Right. What
Don't
if-
forget about CC.
Uh-huh.
Fourth game, Masahiro Tanaka. And if there's a game 5, J.A. Happ.
J-Hap again, huh? Well, let's see.
I
Listen,
like it.
I personally...
Yes.
I know you got the whole wild card play-in game. To me, that's not making the playoffs. I know everybody says, oh, we're in the playoffs. To me, that's not the playoffs. You make it into the playoffs after that wild card, you're in.
Would you ask for a format change to MLB?
I don't mind the format because what it does is it puts an emphasis
On that one game.
winning the division, right? You want to
True.
win your division so you don't have to play in that play-in
Yeah,
game.
that game, all bets are off in that game.
All bets are off.
That's
Anything
true.
can happen. Any team can beat any team in this league. You can take the worst team, put them up against the best team.
But we are the New York Yankees. Like
All
I
right.
said, we. And we have Luke Voit on our team.
Lou.
Mr. Machismo with his... Is this a new look? Should you just unbutton your shirt?
Listen, I
do have the chest hair.
I had a chance to talk to Luke this week.
Yes, you did.
Right, as you will see on our Yankees pregame on Friday before
True.
the
You might even
Jays.
see it during this podcast.
You might see it during this cast if we pop it in. Luke, nice guy, down to earth. He's a good personality.
Takes the subway to the game, I
He
hear.
takes the subway to the game. He's what this team needs. He's just like a raw guy, right? There's a video of him online. He's bench pressing 135 pounds. He's benching with one arm.
hand.
I said, what do you do that for? You're going to hurt yourself. It helps your balance, he says. I
That's
said, well, you better,
insane.
if your balance isn't good that day, you're going to hurt yourself. But he is just so happy to be here. He says the guys are treating him like he's been here the whole time. I said, listen, you keep putting up those home runs, they'll treat you like a king.
Is he the first baseman of the Yankees' future? Is Greg Bird, are we done with Greg Bird?
I don't know. I don't know. Is this an anomaly for Bird?
Anomaly for Voit.
Is he not as good as everybody thought he was? Or is Bird just having a bad time in conjunction with Voit, who's just making it
Yeah,
even
but
worse
talk about having a bad time, and then Luke Voit comes here and has a good time. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, no, Voit.
And the one thing that I love about the Yankees, Chapman's back and all that stuff. The Yankees are a different team with Aaron Judge in the lineup. Even if he's hitting singles, doubles, the guy doesn't swing for the fences. He swings for contact, and then a lot of them become home runs.
Yeah.
But they're a different lineup. They got this swagger about them. Without Judge, they don't have it.
Judge is obviously the face of this team. Stanton's been disappointing the last couple of weeks.
Turns the engine.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So those guys are back. Who do you like for Yankees Rookie of the Year? Do you go Andujar or Torres?
Andujar has 25 home runs.
Right.
I think Miguel Andujar possibly is Rookie of the Year. Andujar is possibly Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
all right, I'll give you that. Let's switch it over to the Mets because
I'm glad we didn't trade Andujar for DeGrom now.
Yes. Now you are, right?
But let's talk Jacob DeGrom.
Let's talk about DeGrom. Baseball Writers Association poll. 30 out of 33 dentists think DeGrom should win the Cy Young. Right? 30 out of 33 writers.
It's about the Cy Young Award is
it's about wins. You can't. No, not anymore.
This is ridiculous.
Not anymore.
It's 2018. It was still going. Well, you have a good ERA.
Listen, but you can't listen as a pitcher. As a pitcher, you can't control the wins. You can't control your team's offense. And when you leave a game with the lead and then your defense or the relief pitcher gives it up, you can't control that. So you got to go by ERA.
But he also has losses because of that Met team.
Exactly. That's true, which could have been and
I'm going with Scherzer. I'm going, what?
Scherzer. Max Scherzer.
Yes. What?
David Wright made his announcement. He's now gone. I know you're very happy about that. You have no heart. You have no soul. You have no emotion. Nothing.
I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
He's held your team, the New York Metropolitans, hostage for 3 years. Oh, who's going to play third base? Who's going to play third base? Can David Wright do it this year? First couple of games look decent. Then in spring training, what happens? His back flares up again. Something happens to his arm. He's held you hostage. How much better would the Mets have been with a guy like a young Manny Machado there or something?
They could still sign Manny Machado.
They're not signing Manny Machado.
Mets don't want to spend the money.
Oh, of course
not. They don't want to spend the money. They haven't been paying for Wright. That's the insurance.
But he's held you hostage because you haven't gone out and gotten a quality third baseman.
What do you think?
This year you got Todd Frazier. Todd Frazier and Jay Bruce were your big acquisitions. How'd that work out for you?
What do you think about the David Wright day? One game, Wright plays, goes out. At least he played.
All right, so David Wright, who can't play anymore. We're saying he's not retired, by the way. He can't play anymore for insurance reasons. Is going to play one final game, September 29th on Pix 11.
Yes.
And congratulations. David Wright's going to play one inning and leave.
I want to switch topics.
Good for you, David.
I'm going to switch topics because I know you're all fired up about this. let me just say, I'm at a payphone trying to call home. All of my change, you.
Okay.
Maroon 5 coming to your Super Bowl halftime show.
The Super Bowl halftime show has been a joke for the last 10 years. Ever since Janet Jackson exposed a nipple. Everyone's gone crazy.
Can you say nipple on this podcast?
I said nipple.
Nipple?
Yes.
Nipple?
It's a little brown protuberance.
Oh, all right. A what?
Protuberance.
A protuberance?
It's like Seinfeld. You
remember? A protuberance.
Remember they all stick on their shirts? Anyway. Look. Here's the thing about it's an NBC broadcast, I believe, this year.
Is it? Is it on NBC?
It's got to be because it's the only reason why I'm going to say it. That Schmuckin Maroon 5.
I love him.
I don't care.
I'm checking for you on my phone right now.
There are a lot of other bands who could have done the Super Bowl halftime show. First off,
who would appeal to everybody?
Before we get there, the halftime show is in Atlanta. Atlanta's got a great music scene. I'm going to give him a band from Atlanta that he loves and has seen twice this summer that's very popular. What? The Zac Brown Band.
Oh, I love Zac Brown.
Okay, that's number one.
I love Zac Brown.
A band that should be doing the halftime show. And
she said, I want to see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather.
Okay, stop for a second. All right. Who has more stadium anthems than one band? The Foo Fighters. Why aren't the Foo Fighters with Everlong, My Hero, doing the halftime show?
Is that a broad appeal?
It's okay. You want to know what
they love Adam Levine from the Voice.
You know
His
what
band is.
You want to know what Maroon 5 is?
What?
It's good for my mom and dad.
for your mom and dad. It's
Thank you, the NFL. You could have picked Outcast from Atlanta. You picked Maroon 5. Thanks a lot. What else we got on that sheet?
I like the Zac Brown Band.
I told you.
That's
Atlanta-based.
That's a good
The Black Crows.
You know,
bring it
like
back. Atlanta-based.
Cold beer.
I ripped up my sheet. So what else we got here?
The only thing I wanted to ask you about was, let's talk about, the Jets will have already played by the time this airs. We don't know what will happen.
Is Eric Flowers going to block someone this weekend or what?
Are the Giants going to win on Sunday?
No, the Giants are screwed. I'll say it.
Who are they playing?
They're playing the Texans.
Oh, right, the Texans.
With Clowney and all those guys and J.J. Watt.
Oh, forget
It's a disaster waiting to happen.
J.J. Watt's going to have a field.
You know what the New York Giants did this year?
What?
They screwed themselves in the NFL draft. They took Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, see now.
Who I like. Who I do like. Not for the Giants.
You can get a quarterback. You can get a good running back anywhere.
When you
needed the quarterback.
Right.
You needed the quarterback.
But it's not about the quarterback here. It's about the offensive line. When you have a very bad and putrid offensive line like the Giants, you need a mobile quarterback. So Eli's not mobile. So what do? You draft offensive line.
You
trade down and draft. Come on.
Got to scramble.
Oh, he can't scramble.
You know I like my chicken
He can scramble eggs. I see you like Zac Brown.
Cold beer
Can
on
he
a
scramble?
Friday night. Take us home. Go ahead. We're done.
Take us home with
Go
what?
ahead, take us home.
I don't know.
End
What?
the show. You know how to do it.
I don't know. This has been two teams, one podcast. I'm Bret. This is Scott.
That's going to do it for this edition of Two Guys, One Podcast, my friends.
Thanks.
Are we going to change the name?
Whatever you want, we'll change it.
Right
Take
now,
a poll, a vote.
Two teams, one podcast. We will be here for the rest of the season. We got Yankees
beyond.
baseball on Friday. We're going to be here every week after baseball.
You know, I hear this talk. We might actually go to the Yankee playoff game.
What?
The one-game wild card.
Where?
In New York, in Bronx.
At Yankee Stadium?
Yeah.
Okay, great. We'll have a studio audience.
Oh, maybe.
He's Bret the Hitman Callahan. I'm Scott Stanford. See you next time. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Woo!